If you want to mount your TV on the wall and don't want to fall enough, stay in this video and I'm going to show you step by step how to install a TV wall mount. And you already know, real tools, real fixes, let's get to work. Alright, this is a TV wall mount that I'll be installing. It's an I got it from Walmart. It was about $45. It says 3 easy steps. Let's see how that goes. To hold it up in place, I won't be looking for studs. I will be using this self-drilling drywall anchors. Each holds up to 79 pounds. I think this is a pretty good way to go. That way you don't need to be looking for studs or drilling in the studs. So other than that, measuring tape for sure, and the drill. So let's get it done. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is just, of course, measure the wall. That way we can find the center and center our TV wall mount. So I'm gonna start left to right. I'm gonna do it on the floor. So the measuring tape just stays straight. And we have 100.5 inches, which is about a little bit over 8 feet. Now, we're just gonna do from the floor to the roof. And we have 96 inches, 8 feet. All right, so the TV mount came with this template. I already measured this, and from left to right is 25 inches and top to bottom 11 inches. What I'm gonna do is just subtract 11 to the 96, which is from the floor to the roof. That difference, I'm gonna divide it in two. That's the difference. I went from the floor to the bottom of the mount and from the roof to the top of the mount. To the 100.5 inches, which is from left to right, I'm gonna subtract the 25 inches, which is this over here. And that difference, I'm gonna divide it into, and that's the distance that I want the right of my mount to the right of the wall, and from same thing on the left side. That's how I find the center. All right, to better explain what I was saying, as I said, the wall from left to right measures 100.5 inches and the TV mount 25 inches. When you subtract 100.5 minus 25 equals 75.5, you have to divide it by 2 because you'll have a space over here and a space over here. So 37.75 inches. So that's the space you want from the mount to this side of the wall, and same on this side. And same process from top to bottom. Right here, right here. So that's the way I use to find the center of the wall. If you have any other suggestions, some methods which you find out easier, just put them down in the comments. I love learning, so I'll be looking forward for those. Moving forward, let's get to work, and let's measure from the floor up 42 inches and a half, which is going to be right here. And then from the roof down, it'll be just right here. Now move to the sides, which is at 37.75. That will be just right here. Now we move to the other side. 37.75. It's right here. All right, made my marks over there. Let's find the template and get the screws in place. All right, I got my template over here. I'm gonna find the marks I just made, and I'm gonna align the template with the mark over here. Make sure it aligns with the other one on the other side, the one on top and the one in the bottom. All right, now we just need to make sure it is level. Placing the level on top. Well, right there. And then just hold it in place. Trace your marks. On the sides. And one in the bottom. You probably don't need to make that many marks, but I like to do it. All right. We have already templated the wall. We have the mount over here. Let's just make sure it is good to go with the same measurements. Seems good. Everything well. And the mount itself has a level over here, so that's a plus. Okay, good to go. It's time to get the drywall anchors in place. One thing that I want to mention, it seems like the mount is going to be like a little bit lower, but the reason I chose to leave it there and not move it a little bit up is just because the holes, the mount holes in the TV, they're really low. So when they're that low and you place the TV, it's going to be a little bit higher. So if I move it up, if I move the mount up, the TV is going to be really close to the roof. So I rather just leave the mount in right in the middle, and the TV is going to be like looking probably over here. It's going to be a 65-inch. So that's what I expect. All right, let's keep moving forward and get those drywall anchors on. All right, got my anchors right here. It's time to get them on and get this done. So these are pretty easy. As I said, there's no drilling required. You just put them right here on the drywall. One in. All right, it's time to get the mount in place. We got the drywall anchors already, so I got my screws in my pocket with some washers. Make sure you have some washers to hold it in place. All right, perfect. We got it. It's there. Pretty solid. So it's time to get the TV on. Oh, actually, this has some covers that goes over here. So let's get these covers in place. And good to go. All right, now it's time to get the brackets in the TV and get that TV hang on the wall. All right, pretty easy step now. Just we're gonna be installing the mounting arms. Just requires 4 bolts, so let's get that done. And I'm gonna go with the lowest assembly. So I'll place this one here. For the bottom one, I'm gonna put a washer on the bolt. All right, so as you can see, we have this over here. I'm just gonna move it here for better visibility. So I'm gonna lift up the TV and I'm gonna get in place over here. All right. So you can see it's in place already. Now, just pull it forward so I can show you the next step. All right, for this next step, pretty easy. We're just gonna close this bracket over here. I'm gonna place this screw in place. And secure it. All right, let's move to the other side. All right, pretty solid, secured. Let's just see how it looks. All right, that's it. TV is mounted, solid on the wall, center, just the way we want it. All right, if you're thinking about doing this yourself, I'm telling you, just with a little patience, it's doable. Just make it happen. Do it yourself. And as you know, real tools, real fixes. Let's get to work. I'll see you in the next video.